Hello, Focus 5 family, and welcome back to part 2 of our 5-part series exposing the controversies of some of the biggest brands in the world. Today, we are looking Medusa square in the eyes and hoping for the best as we check out one of fashion's biggest names, Versace. In case you weren't in the know, as they say, Versace is a luxury fashion brand that has been at the forefront of the industry for over 40 years. The brand was founded in 1978 by Gianni Versace, an Italian fashion designer who became renowned for his bold, flamboyant designs, his use of vibrant colors and prints, and Medusa. Would the idea of Medusa be controversial? Maybe. Really bold? Definitely. When we think of corporate logos, we think of safety, family, and fun, like the Nike swoosh, the arches for McDonald's, and even the CC for Coco Chanel. But Versace decided to choose a logo design that was synonymous with death from staring at it too long: the Medusa head. Yes, the Versace brand logo features the head of Medusa, a figure from Greek mythology with snakes for hair that causes the viewer to turn to stone and die if looked at for too long. As dark and scary as that may sound, the logo has become synonymous with the Versace brand, and it appears on everything from clothing and accessories to even home decor. In the 1990s, the Medusa logo was often associated with the bling culture of hip-hop, and it was frequently worn by rappers and other celebrities. This association led to some criticism of the brand, with some accusing it of promoting a shallow and materialistic lifestyle. In recent years, the Medusa logo has also been the subject of controversy for its use in political protests. In 2018, protesters in Turkey used the Medusa logo as a symbol of their opposition to President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. The protesters altered the logo to include a red background, symbolizing the blood of those who had been killed or imprisoned by the Turkish government. The use of the Medusa logo in political protests has raised questions about the role of fashion brands in political activism. Despite these controversies, the Medusa logo remains a key symbol of the Versace brand. It has become an iconic symbol of luxury and glamour, and it is now recognizable around the world. Moving away from the deadly logo choice to one of the most significant controversies surrounding the Versace brand occurred in the early 1990s, when they were accused of copying designs from other designers. In 1992, Gianni Versace was sued by fellow designer L.A. Rox, who claimed that Versace had copied one of his designs for a denim jacket. Versace denied the allegations, and the case was eventually settled out of court. Now to us, being settled out of court usually means somebody was guilty but didn't want their brand tarnished by a lengthy trial. But who are we to judge? There's more. Then a few years later in 1995, the brand was again accused of plagiarism when it released a collection that featured designs that were strikingly similar to those of designer Frank Beauclerc. Beauclerc claimed that Versace had copied his designs, but the case was dismissed due to lack of evidence. Again, to us that doesn't mean they weren't copying him. It just means they weren't found guilty for it. And to taxes, man. They suck, and no matter who you are, you gotta pay them, right? Right? Well, back in the early 90s, the Versace brothers controversially were accused of trying to bribe local officials to ease their tax pains. The New York Times reported back in 1994 that Versace's chief executive, Santo Versace, was under suspicion of having bribed government tax inspectors in exchange for favorable audits. Officials said Mr. Versace, brother of the designer Gianni Versace, had been questioned by the chief anti-corruption magistrate, Antonio Di Pietro, and later released. He was suspected of having made illegal payments in 1990 to officials of the Italian Treasury and Finance Ministry, who were inspecting the company's tax records, reportedly in exchange for them turning a blind eye to fraudulent bookkeeping practices. Looks like they settled that one out of court as well. From a logo you aren't supposed to look at, to plagiarism allegations, to even bribing tax officials, the biggest controversy is still yet to come, and it also happens to be the saddest one. In 1997, Gianni Versace was murdered. Gianni Versace was shot and killed outside his Miami Beach home by Andrew Cunanan. a serial killer who had been on the run for several months. Versace's death shocked the fashion world and the wider public, and it remains one of the most high-profile murders in recent history. The circumstances surrounding Versace's death have been the subject of much speculation and investigation over the years. In the aftermath of the shooting, there were reports of a possible conspiracy involving the mafia or other criminal organizations. However, these claims were never substantiated, and the official explanation for the murder is that Cunanan, who was known to be mentally unstable, targeted Versace as a high-profile victim. The death of Gianni Versace had a significant impact on the Versace brand. Versace was not only the founder of the brand, but he was also its creative force and visionary. In the years following his death, there were concerns that the brand would struggle to survive without his leadership. That is until Versace's sister, Donatella, who had been working closely with her brother for many years, took over as creative director of the brand and has successfully continued his legacy. While she has run into her own controversies, including drug addiction and corruption scandals, we'll leave those stories for another day. So whether you are a wealthy individual, a rapper, or just a fashionista with deep pockets, the Versace brand, despite its past controversies, is here to stay. Let us know below if now knowing about some of these controversies changes your perspective on the brand, and if you would still buy it. While the cost of Versace is too high for this channel, giving us a subscribe and hitting that bell icon does get us a little closer to our Dream Versace t-shirt for only $1,500 USD. We're kidding. That's insane for a cotton shirt, don't you think? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time here at Focus 5.